Embrace long-lasting vitality. Feel brighter. Feel stronger. Feel renewed. Supporting overall wellness and balance. From the telomerase machine to quantum plates, bracelets, glasses, and more. Double Plus products, we've got you covered. Say goodbye to constant hospital visits and hello to a healthier, more fulfilling life. Join the Double Plus family today and experience quantum energy the modern way. Call or WhatsApp Sunday on 0805 546 2822 or Florence on 0816 333 9222. Double Plus Quantum Way. Get ready to thrive and live in good health.
Wow, good morning and welcome to Eagle 7 Sports Radio 103.7 FM Lagos. I say Lagos because I am in Lagos. And I just believe that somehow we are going to have challenge with technology this morning because where I am at, well, the Wi-Fi isn't so good, but we'll see how it goes. Realize it or not, it is a new world and there's a new world order. I went to a computer shop some time ago, I think in 1993 in the United States of America. I wanted to buy a computer to use for my work, which is at that time really editorials and some video editing and stuff. That was in the very early days of the computer in Nigeria. I asked the shop owner, a white man, in this huge store in Boston, that I wanted to buy a computer. And then he asked me what I needed the computer for so that he could advise me on which one to buy. Well, I was a novice in the computer business, even beyond just spending 1 year studying computer science at the Polytechnic in Ibadan. I didn't really know anything about computers at the time. Anyway, I described what I wanted for the computer, the shopkeeper, and then he went in to bring me the computer he thought I would need. Meanwhile, this black assistant, also in the shop, came to me and said, well, that he was sorry, that he was eavesdropping on our conversation. He realized I was from Africa and that I sounded like an intelligent person. I was looking for a computer, that he wanted to advise me. And the advice was that, look, whatever it is that you have done for yourself in education up to that point, please go back to school and acquire skills in computer. That's how we put it. Just go back and acquire skills in computer because that is the future. And in a few years' time, you would realize that you are really an illiterate if you don't do what I'm telling you to do. As he was telling me this, the shop owner came out and he left. And I thought about it for a while. But lo and behold, 33 years later, here I am. And I tell you, I'm a complete illiterate. I'm a complete illiterate. The world is a different place. 1 year ago, I met Atai Albert that you'll be meeting again this morning. And for the past 1 year, Atai has been trying to explain to me about the future and has been warning me about how young people, particularly, would be missing so much in the world, that the opportunities are limitless and they are new. A few days ago, I met Smith Oshodin. I hope that is the way his name is pronounced. He will tell us about it. And yesterday, I listened to him make a presentation, at the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs. And I realized that, look, I really don't know anything. And there are tons of people like me all over the place, people like us who are buried in our analog mind, and we refuse to embrace new technology, digital technology, and all that slogans. But then I listened to their presentation, and I tell you that the future is here. Wherever you are, please just wake up, take a cup of coffee, sit back and listen to these two gentlemen as they take us into that future. And then last year June, I met this lady and her husband, Florence Oladunjoye. They came to Abeokuta and they sold to me something that is futuristic in my mind at the time. They told me about quantum energy, the quantum energy machine, and how it was revolutionizing the healing process and how it can impact lives. And I decided to test, to find out for myself, use myself as a guinea pig. Let me see what this future with quantum energy would look like. And it's been a fascinating experience. So this morning, we'll be having Atai Albert, Smith Oshodi, and Flores Oladujoye, 3-in-1 for you, wherever you are. But you must just sit back, listen, watch these three people as they will take us into that future world. But before then, we'll just go take this short break, take a few promos, and this nice piece of music by Atai Albert's son, which I told Ini to prepare for us. So when we come back, we'll go into this incredible conversation. I am here. This is Eagle 7 Sports Radio, 103.7 FM. Wherever you are in the world, please know that this is the station you should be listening to because it brings you stuff you will not find anywhere else. And don't forget, maybe later in the program, technology allowing, we may be able to take a few calls. Save this number, 0700 2255 1037. Use that number and probably you may be able to get us. So I can't wait to get started after the break.
Natural wellness every single day. No chemical, no surgery, just quantum energy. Designed for you. Rejuvenate your body, boost your strength, and embrace long-lasting vitality. Feel brighter, feel stronger, feel renewed. Supporting overall wellness and balance. From the telomerase machine to quantum plates, bracelets, glasses, and more. Double Plus products, we've got you covered. Say goodbye to constant hospital visits and hello to a healthier, more fulfilling life. Join the Double Plus family today and experience quantum energy the modern way. Call or WhatsApp Sunday on 0805 546 2822 or Florence on 0816 333 9222. Double Plus Quantum Way. Get ready to thrive and live in good health.
I am Kadri Kana, MON, former ex-international, CAF award-winning coach. You are listening to Eagle 7 Sports Radio, 103.7 FM.
your strength and embrace long-lasting vitality. Feel brighter, feel stronger, feel renewed, supporting overall wellness and balance. From the telomerase machine to quantum plates, bracelets, glasses, and more. Double Plus products, we've got you covered. Say goodbye to constant hospital visits and hello to a healthier, more fulfilling life. Join the Double Plus family today and experience quantum energy the modern way. Call or WhatsApp Sunday on 0805 546 2822 or Florence on 0816 333 9222. Double Plus Quantum Way. Get ready to thrive and live in good health.
Geo-7 Sports Radio Station 103.7. We're here to feed you information, news, lifestyle, entertainment, whatever you need.
Okay, ready? Are we rolling? All right, we're rolling.
Do not be too far from us.
And in people's knowledge and awareness. I am in Nigeria right now driving a nationwide advocacy on sustainability adoption and implementation in collaboration with Dark Communications, which I have mentioned to you. And I look forward to engaging Nigerians and educating us to understand that the times are different. And if you're not on board, you're sure going to be left behind. So I thank everybody for being part of the discussion, and I look forward to very exciting moments and very revealing information that will really educate us and activate our interests and motivate us to collaborate, invest, because the opportunity can never be better than now. I think we miss Chief right there, strangely enough.
Hello, I'm Frank Edo, and I implore you to always listen to Eagle 7 Sports Radio 103.7, because that is where you can fly high.
This is Eagle 7 Sports Radio 103.7 FM.
This is the Eagle. Fly high with us. Eagle 7 Sports Radio 103.7 FM.
This is Eagle.
Break. But yes, that's a tie for you, Albert. Let me go to Smith Oshodin. And please pronounce your second name, so that I know how to pronounce it beyond now. Tell us what you do, Smith.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Atai, and good morning, Ambassador. And I think the last lady who's supposed to be online. My name is Smith Oshodin, just like you want to pronounce Oshodi Market, but you put an N at the end, Oshodin. Good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Very well.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm a tech entrepreneur, and basically what I do is we create software solutions for multiple businesses, but at the same time we're into a high-level tech literacy programs where we try to bring wake our society up in that tech is a new literacy, basically. So as much as possible, like you were trying to explain the analog to the digital transformation, we're among the one of the forefronts of changing the orientations of people to understand that tech is not just for geeks, but it's very important that everyone has some basic knowledge about it. So we have programs that we run, high-level programs that we run to empower and educate people to be up to speed on modern day tech.
Okay. I don't know if I can get Florence Oladunjoye there. If she is, just tell us what you do, Florence. Okay. Is she there? Okay, she's not. She would try to reconnect. But Atai, yes, after that beautiful introduction, now you know my challenge is that I am unable to wrap my head around this future that is here now. You speak of climate change, sustainability, digital technology, digital economy, and all those stuff. And you want me that, look, get involved with these things now. Otherwise, you'll be jobless within a few months. And that's exactly what is happening to me now. But you also warn that if Nigeria does not seize the opportunity that is being presented by people like you, Nigeria as a country is losing seriously. I want you to go to to the bare knuckle. So specific cases, like for example, you told me about air peace on airlines generally, and what these airlines could benefit from carbon credits and so on and so forth. And just wrapping my head around this is challenging for me. So let's be more specific now. Connect what you're saying with what we, particularly those of us who don't understand it, should know about the present situation.
Chief, thank you very much. I'd like to start with your introduction of going to the computer shop and some young kid walking up and telling to go and pick up some learning about computer. I'm excited because the era we are in is even going to leave more people behind. You walked in there to buy a computer, which means you had a fundamental idea of what a computer does. So why I'm referring to that discussion is that in the contemporary carbon economy or sustainability, climate action, climate change, whatever you guys want to call it, there's so many lexicons that confuses even people. Most people don't have a clue because of a failed advocacy from the initial time that UN SDGs were introduced to society. You are not alone, and Nigeria is not alone. It's a global problem. You can even see fundamental leaders disowning the fact that climate change is real. So it's a very, very precarious situation. And Nigeria, being what it is with its own complexity, is even taking a position that will put it in a total disadvantage. My collaborators and partners all over the world see Nigeria as having an unfair advantage over every country on earth today when it comes to climate action. An unfair advantage because we have the need to accommodate a large population. We have a need to drive job creation for these young people. We have a need to drive sustainability in terms of climate action that will transform our economy and all other sectors of our operation, because every problem of this country is tied to energy security. And it's only through the adoption and implementation of integrated energy solutions, driving hybrid and clean energy, while mitigating environmental issues, that could guarantee Nigeria energy security. Without that, we're still going to sit in a mono economy. I'm going to highlight 4 to 5 major projects that Nigeria has done. And this happens across every sector of this country that they are not taking advantage of. One is the bilateral agreement between Brazil and Nigeria and Trinidad and Tobago and Nigeria. That is already a UN proposed measure for the aviation industry. It was facilitated by AirPeace. So AirPeace, by doing the collaboration, now reduces the travel time from Nigeria, from Africa, because it's not a hub for the entire economy, from Africa to Europe or to America before getting to the Caribbean. Remember, that was a major slave route when there were no engines on boats, driven by drift, by ocean drift, from Africa, taking our brothers all the way to Brazil, from where they entered into the Americas. But after the abolition of slave trade, that conduit that was shut off for obvious reasons, so that it won't connect to our ancestors. Those people will not connect to their ancestors anymore. Despite the fact that it was fueling the high level of greenhouse gases by traveling 21 hours instead of about 10 or 11 hours direct flight. So that's a pretty good measure. I want to look at another major project, the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. The system has its own bidding about it, with all kinds, because people no longer trust the system. But that is a major mitigation project, because if you had to travel from Lagos through the regular route, or Red and Onisha, all the way to Kano, it will take you 16 to 18 hours. Where that road is completed, it's going to probably take you about 8 to 9 hours, based on projections. Imagine how much gas would have been burnt with all this number of cars making the same route. Major mitigation, nobody's talking about it. The system itself is not saying anything about it. I want to take it to another thing, because we're the presidential initiative on compressed natural gas, converting our vehicles to gas-driven vehicles and a generation system. That is a major mitigation effort. Nobody's talking about it. The only thing you hear about is they're trying to reduce transport costs. Globally, nobody cares what you do unless it impacts a global issue like climate action. These are all carbon footprint reduction opportunities. These are all carbon credit generation opportunities. You go into a company like Dangote. Dangote for the past 12 years has been driving CNG trucks to deliver its product. Its cement plant is run on kernel shells instead of fossil fuel-driven heating system. Those are major mitigation efforts. I'm not even talking about the economic implication of that comparatively if you are running it on regular fossil fuel. I take you to just 2 weeks ago when the president signed a pact with the UAE. That was a fully sustainability pact, because there's a major company of renewable energy to drive that new economy, that whole manufacturing process. Again, Nigeria don't mention it. So you imagine we just submitted an NDC, which is what they call the Nationally Determined Contribution of Nations to Climate Action on Mitigation. Did we really capture these major trillion naira, billion-dollar projects? So imagine if we had properly articulated, and this is happening the entire country. Not just that, because you have what they call the ESG, environmental, social, and governance impact. That is the basis of grading every country today, beyond physical grading. Every company now has to submit what they call an ESG annual report. If you are exporting goods to Europe now, your goods must carry a proper definition of climate mitigation processes that you have introduced to your company, or you start paying taxes on that. So we have more or less losing out of a golden opportunity. I'm talking at a very high level. All this, they are equally at different stratas of life. They are all different effort. Individuals, companies, subnationals have to do. At the end of the day, it's a major revenue saving opportunity for this country, for these entities. So you're not just fighting climate change, because I love to say that Nigeria don't have any business fighting climate change because we do not contaminate the earth. Our contribution is barely 0.5% emission per capita compared to 17 of China and 14% of America. So we are in climate action for the benefit of driving energy security through complementary renewable energy solutions. So we can now develop our entire manufacturing sector, which goes to drive product development, which goes to drive your GDP, which goes to drive your reduce your poverty, which goes to impact hunger, which goes to drive inclusivity, which goes to drive every other aspect of the UN SDG. So we need to re-strategize, get the right people. Ironically, the world offers every country opportunity to collaborate with goal number 17. SDG 17 says global partnership. Reach out to anywhere in the world. Find a strategic partner in the area you don't have, technology, intellectual property, or actual implementation plans. Let them complement you to help you achieve these goals. So there's a whole lot that we're leaving on the table, and we have to adjust that because we are in the last decade of the UN SDG implementation. 2030 is going to be the last 4 years as well. So the benefit of time is not even there. That's why at the last COP, it was projected that the likelihood of achieving these goals was barely 40%. So that's a serious issue to talk about. Thank you.
Well, that was a masterclass presentation. You know, I've lost power here, but I'm sure you can hear my voice. See, look,
yes,
all of these are convertible into the dollar that will come into our pockets as companies and as governments. Is that what you're saying? In accumulating carbon credits and all of those things, how would those things now transform into dollar and naira and kobo for private organizations and the government itself? But before we do that, let me just tell Mrs. Florence Olagunjoye that you should put on your video and unmute yourself so we can see you and we can know you are present. Okay, go on, Atai.
Actually, you say we are always very late at adopting technology, adopting policy, implementing policy. A lot we don't even implement. We just sign global policies, agreement here and there, and not do nothing. Because a lot of times we probably don't have the right people who have the bandwidth to learn what that policy is all about. I can tell you for free, the discussion around carbon credit has been around for the past 15 years, if not more. A lot of companies have been making that money. Your carbon credit in Nigeria or most continent countries in Africa, whatever they do to reduce the carbon footprint is a credit. There is no country in Europe, Asia, or the America, these are big industrialized nations, that could generate carbon credit. So your ability to reduce carbon footprint, which could be estimated based on the tons of carbon you have removed from the atmosphere, is converted to what they call credit, that is voluntarily or involuntarily procured by high contaminant nations. So yes, in the aspect of carbon credit, if you are able to drive low carbon operation or clean energy carbon operation, All you need is to get the right partner who could sit down and put those numbers together, and it offer you as a creditor, you can approach a registry, a carbon registry, that has a mechanism to verify, validate, and offset. But today, it's good to highlight the carbon credit discussion is facing a serious quagmire, because that's one of the primary reasons why Trump refuses to acknowledge the fact that climate action is real, because they're only going to be the one to pay for the carbon credit. But when you look at them arguing that climate change is a hoax, because it was a voluntary obligation agreed by high contaminant nations to pay for the excesses of the low contaminant nations that they contribute. So yes, but on the flip side, it's way beyond carbon credit. Because I can tell you for free again, 90% of entities will not enjoy that credit, because it's almost running out of stock right now based on all the discrepancies happening lately within that sector. So we just passed the carbon credit framework. We just adopted the carbon credit framework 2 or 3 weeks ago when the president was in UAE. And we are not thinking of deploying a carbon registry. I don't want to be the devil's advocate. We better do that fast enough. Because the discussion today is no longer about carbon credit. We are just waking up to carbon credit discussion. The discussion today is about circular economy, multi-use, regenerative use of carbon through sequestration and other potential approach to applying carbon, not a one-off sell-off of carbon credit, which is what everybody's chasing now. So it's a very complex situation, but that having been said, the real benefit of climate action is way beyond carbon credit. It's drive your energy situation, improve Nigeria's energy situation, support manufacturing because you can have affordable and available energy, and then drive the development of your creative sector, your manufacturing sector, your transport sector, and all that. That's where what we need to bother about, if we really understand the dynamics of this industry, of this current situation.
Wow. Food, plenty of food for thought. Smith, you were about all of these things that Atai just told us about now, and you were speaking of another world, the digital technology world, digital economy, and all manner of things yesterday that just confused me even more. But of course, you started to clear the cobwebs in my head. So, Oshodi, you spoke of a specific project coming up in April, and that truly excited me about how you would empower over 3,000 Nigerians with digital skills. Tell us about it. Break it down for us so that Nigerians can understand what this is about.
Okay, thank you very much, Ambassador. But before I actually get into that, let me have an intro for a better understanding. You know,
good.
You started about the whole analog to the digital age we're currently at right now, right? So let's first take it to understand, because not a lot of people think that the current digital age we're in is actually a necessity. For you who can see beyond, you've actually told yourself, like, this is the current reality, irrespective of my age, I need to get on board. Age is not it's not a holdback. Way back, today we hear things like a data analyst, a data scientist. It sounds like, man, please, I don't need to employ those people in my office. But back in the days, how were things like this done? Business ask a question, why are sales down, or why are we not making money here? Then the analyst goes and requests information from IT. After requesting the information from IT, data arrives, files, report, manual cleaning, the whole lengthy process. Now, business is meant to optimize time, because time is what's the currency of most businesses, so that you do not lose. Now, what is the current job of a data analyst today? He's more of a detective. He's meant to actually ascertain exactly what has happened. Okay, he's meant to analyze what has happened. So the pace at which he does things today, he does not request for information from the IT department anymore. He on his own pulls all this information in while the business is running and presents it ahead, more of a predictive thing to the business, like not sort of a predictive. He comes up and says, oh, look at what we are having. Oh, we are lacking sales. So the business doesn't need to come to him and says, oh, sales are not doing well in this part of or this region. He comes and tells the business, sales is not doing well. So he before the business makes a request. As insignificant as that position might be, imagine the revenue business could generate from that. So the discussion we had yesterday was about trying to increase the literacy level of Nigerian. We have partnered with every country in the world to start with here. They have their own key strength. China is in production. UK is the financial hub. India is medical tourism and IT. And we've been able to partner with one of the global IT firms who are currently responsible for training of a majority of the major multinationals around the world. They design curriculums for a lot of the OEMs, and they also train the OEMs. So that means we'll be able to get proper ground knowledge of these IT-related courses. But the other thing now is that how do we get these things passed down to Nigerians? Let's tell ourselves the truth. Not every Nigerian can afford a lot of the courses. Now, are there a lot of courses online here and there that people could go and grab from? Yes, but people still go into traditional campuses where they sit for years and they learn, interact with lecturers. After lecture, you go speak to your lecturer. That way, he's able to explain things more to you. If we all had to listen to a radio or a video program growing up as a form of literacy, we would have a lot of challenges and we would have a lot of people who will not be able to catch up because there's no one actually to talk to. So the program coming up, Tech Shift, is to create a lot of IT literacy knowledge across 6 domains. The 6 domains that we're looking at is AI, data analytics and data science, cybersecurity, cloud computing, blockchain. So these are a few of them. Now we're looking at bringing 3,500 people on the 18th of April to Balmoral Hall, Sheraton, Ikeja. And of the 3,500 people that are going to be there, we're going to create a lot of awareness and expose them to a lot of things and tell them why the IT current position in the world is of utmost necessity for them to be able to break through in the future. And we were going to give 546 students 100% scholarship. Now, each of what they get from this scholarship is not, oh, you come, you're knowledgeable on IT. No, they get a global certification of completion from a renowned institute that is 3 decades old, and this is what they do. And they also sit for each of the exams by the OEM and also get a global certificate from the OEMs. So basically saying having a certificate from an OEM means that you're having an AWS certificate. Then for those, the vendor neutral programs like the blockchain technology, you'll be getting like a certificate from the EU Council. For CompTIA, who is also a vendor neutral on cybersecurity, you'll also be getting a certificate from there. So we've actually set up a platform called TechShift.Africa, where people go and register. It's 100% free. There's no upfront payment. There's not going to be any payment on the day of the event. So everyone can go there and register on TechShift.Africa and register, come to the event, and hopefully you will be able to get 100% scholarship to programs that are future-proof. What we've tried to do among the courses we've picked among the 6 domains, we've kind of there's nothing that is truly future-proof, but we kind of future-proof it in a way that most of the courses are extremely relevant in the next 5, 10, 15 years. Now, you also talked about the literacy level, about the analog process of you not knowing a lot. Okay, a lot of people think AI is going to completely replace humans. Your mic is turned off, Ambassador. Your mic is still turned off.
Yeah. So I just realized that. I said, yes, I'm one of those ones. I am so afraid, you can't believe it, that in the next 1 year or so, I'll be jobless. But give us this tech shift. Tech shift. The spell is TECH. Shift.
TECHSHIFT. Africa. Yeah, it's a website currently online.
Yeah, so that everybody can go there and find out about this program, because this is truly fascinating. This is truly fascinating, and I can participate. Abi?
Yes.
And how long is this program going to be? How long will I spend to acquire these skills?
Okay, now basically, global standard, global practice. It's like if you go to normal university, some courses are 4 years, some courses are 5 years, some courses are 6 years, depending on. So it then depends on your area of interest. Your area of interest will determine the duration of your training. So some courses will go for 80 hours, some courses will go for 40 hours. Some for 100 hours, some courses go for 60 hours. So it depends on your area of interest. But ideally, it's not usually advisable to see the growth of a friend as a standard of measure for you to make a decision on what path in IT you should get into. Let me give an example. For instance, I come to your house now, Ambassador, and I see you have a G-Wagon outside, and I see you on the computer, you're typing. I say, Ambassador, what are you doing? I say, there's these things that I'm developing for people, and they're paying me, well, how much? They give me $5,000 every month. I'm like, wow. And my salary is $700,000. No way. I'm going to do what Ambassador is doing. The question is, you naturally are someone who enjoys physically engaging in things and calculating. So you are actually doing what you naturally are inclined towards. I'm more of a graphics guy. I love to draw. Now I'm just moving from fry pan to fire, from my 750,000 naira a month to absolute confusion of my life. 4 years down the line, I'm wondering, why did you deceive me? I now would have been earning 1.5 million. I have no direction. So that's why at the Tech Shift program, what we try to do is explain these things to people so that you don't look at the next man's level of success as a measure to say, that is what I want to do. The fact you want to get into it is like saying, oh, I want to buy a car. How much is a car? Excuse me, what kind of question is that? To start with, Toyota has almost 10 different kind of models on that car. Honda has, Lexus has. I want a Lexus car. Then I cannot be telling you the different kind of Lexus cars. So that's how IT is. You don't just say, I want to do IT. What aspect of IT? What do you naturally love doing? How's your personality like? So it's easier when you gravitate towards your personality into an IT-related course. Then it becomes more fun while you make money.
Wow, this is interesting. Well, before we go to Florence and see if we can see her and hear her, please, she should also just try video, put up your video and unmute, and let us see if we can hear you. But before that, you know, Atai has always been telling me about the sports economy. This is our own area, the sports economy. And the man will not let me rest about how we are not exploring and exploiting that area. So please, Atai, tell us about not just sports economy now, but about that whole body of soft power economy, including music and dance and so on and so forth. Atai.
Yes, Chiba, that is one of our core areas of strength. Where we say we have unfair advantage, we have what very few countries can step up to when it comes to our creative potential. You know, we have the largest movie-making industry, the creative industry. We have the comedy industry, huge. We have the music industry, huge. We have even the DJ, the disc jockey industry. You see, only under a climate action effort that Nigeria could now take its entire potential within the creative industry global. You see, we have only tapped into our potential by very little margin. Why am I saying that? We don't own any global show promotion. We don't own any global streaming platform. We don't own any global comedy platform. We don't own any global fashion promotion platform. We don't own any of that. But we own all the intellectual property to drive it. Beautifully enough, under climate advocacy, the creative industry has been adopted by the United Nations to drive climate implementation, adoption, introduction of solutions and all that. And the faith, the fashion, the food are all part of the creative industry that are being adopted. We have some of the most unique food. The world craves for African food, especially Nigerian food. So, within the context of advocacy of climate action, we can create a global show model. We can create a global music model. We could create a global Hollywood model that we could take all over the world and monetize as well. Right now, we are not making, our kids are not making a dime from any element of sports, only if you'd have succeeded in going to football. Our kids are not making a dime in athletics. We can own a full sports franchise, just like the IAA, International Athletics Federation. We're entitled to it. Why? You know, the white folks, after Olympics, they started with what they call Winter Olympics. During Winter Olympics, they have to burn a lot of fossil fuel. The hotel has to burn fuel to heat it up. They have to burn fuel to heat the stations. Why wouldn't they come to Africa, during which time we have a perfect tropics? You don't need to burn any of those fuels, which add to the climate situation. Because it's the deliberate attempt not to allow any of those franchises to be in Africa so we can make the benefit of it. But under climate action, today, we can create a sporting franchise in this continent. When they want to go for Winter Olympics, we host one here. We say, where will the athletes go to if they had a choice? They'll come to the tropics. We can create one that prepares athletes before the Olympics, which is what we've had a lot of discussions about. That is the only way you can monetize and develop the lower strata of sport from the high school to secondary school, preparing them for a life even before they get out of school. Under climate change, nobody can stop you from doing that. But try to do that without that kind of this cloak or this cover, you're going to find a lot of resistance from all over the world because they don't want it to have it. Meanwhile, we are the people that make the sports. The blinders, we are the jumpers, we are the players, everything. So that is where we could equally leverage to develop our entire creative industry. Don't forget, it's still tied to power because those creatives, you want to make a movie, you must have power to make a movie, to edit a movie. You want to make music, you must have power. You must have power to run the shows, otherwise the cost of running the shows is still going to go high. So under climate mitigation, you can solve the fundamental problem that has a spillover synergized effect across these other sectors. Irrespective of sector, that's why climate change, SDG number 13, was the initial goal that everybody got to understand and hear about, because it was identified as a precursor that will drive the entire economy. Without that, we're still in circles. That's what we need to look at, sir.
This is Eagle 7 Sports Radio, believe it or not. I've been having my conversation with Atai Albert and Smith Oshodi. I've not been able to connect with Florence. She should put on her video and on mute so we can hear her and see her. If she can do that, she'll be able to join us after this short break. Let's go on this short break.
This is Eagle 7 Sports Radio, 103.7 FM.
She's not joining yet.
This is the Eagle. Fly high with us. Eagle 7 Sports Radio 103.7 FM.
Natural wellness every single day. No chemical, no surgery, just quantum energy designed for you. Rejuvenate your body, boost your strength, and embrace long-lasting vitality. Feel brighter, feel stronger, feel renewed, supporting overall wellness and balance. From the telomerase machine to quantum plates, bracelets, glasses, and more. Double Plus products, we've got you covered. Say goodbye to constant hospital visits and hello to a healthier, more fulfilling life. Join the Double Plus family today and experience quantum energy the modern way. Call or WhatsApp Sunday on 0805 546 2822 or Florence on 0816 333 9222. Double Plus Quantum Way. Get ready to thrive and live in good health.
Welcome back. Well, this is Eagle 7 Sports Radio, reaching you from our studios in Wasimi, in Abeokuta, but we can be heard and followed everywhere on earth. So that's the power of technology. I've been having my conversations with these two experts in this field that is, causing confusion for me in my head. But let me usher in. One of my biggest fears is that, look, not understanding the technology driving the economy, as it were, for me, and I pick up my phone and I can do all my banking transactions and business transactions and do everything virtually on my phone, and I read every day of cyber insecurity, frauds, and so on that are, in this new planet. How big a threat is digital technology? How big a threat is it? Would we wake up one day and everything is wiped out in our banking sector because some people are being fraudulent? What is the measure of that threat? And what can we do to mitigate it?
Very lovely question, sir.
I hope it's not a stupid question. No?
It's a very lovely question. All questions usually are asked out of ignorance. If you want us to be, whatever
Yes.
question I ask you is asked out of ignorance because I want to know. So yes, there's nothing wrong with the question. Let me come from an analog perspective before I go to a digital perspective so you can assimilate it better.
Very good.
If you... every day you go out, you bring money home, you kept it at home, locked it, and went out. Your mind will be a lot more at rest because you're in control of your immediate environment. It's locked up in your safe in your room door is locked up, your house door is locked up. When you go out, you don't think much. It's with you. But now you are saying taking something out of your hand and going to keep it in a physical bank. Now you have to drive to the bank, write paper, collect it, come back. The chances that it can get missing is now on the road. Now we've gone digital. You pick up a device because the armed robbers could actually block your vehicle, point a gun, take the bag from you. Now that bag has gone to the air. You have to punch, it goes, and it comes virtually. So most of those things that are out there, they're usually in a cloud. That's where a cloud engineer comes in. Somebody has to be the specialist to look at that area. Now, the job of a cybersecurity expert is now an EFCC, but a digital EFCC. So the EFCC has a fiscal office where they're waiting to catch you after you steal. These ones are preemptive. They are looking for all the loopholes. Keep testing all the nooks and crannies, checking the doors, checking the windows to see how people are going to come in. So is it possible? Yes. But people who are not reactive but more proactive, they put all the measures in place. High fence, electric, high walls, burglary protector, wired, electric fences, illumination, dogs, you've done your part. But you're going to keep checking. So yes, it's possible if there's a lot of negligence to it, yes, we could lose everything. But the good thing is that majority of our systems, financial institutions, they kind of invest heavily in cybersecurity. And that's one of the courses that we're actually offering from one of our global experts to kind of like empower people. Now, just to add to that, AI is also coming in now. Sort of like, let it not look like I'm digressing a little bit. Now, what's AI supposed to do basically? AI is supposed to complement almost every IT-related courses. It doesn't replace, it complements. So what you are meant to do, as maybe say 2 times 2 times 2, 1, 2, 3 seconds, it gives you an answer. But with AI, 2 times 2 times 2, boom. So it just makes it 10 times a lot faster to retrieve, analyze. So in all aspects of IT, there's an AI component to it which adds knowledge to it. So even in cybersecurity, there's an AI component to it. So rather than walking around the compound to analyze like, is someone here, AI goes ahead and check, the areas are clear. It doesn't mean you won't still walk around, but it has done majority of the work for you. And it constantly does the monitoring in the aspect of cybersecurity. It's a threat. Yes. Can it be mitigated against? Yes. Can the risk be reduced? Heavily. Yes, it can.
Well, I hear you clearly. But at the same time, something is telling me at the back of my mind that, look, I don't touch AI. No, I'm sorry, but I don't touch AI. I think that it takes away my creativity. It takes away, the trouble I take to put things together and all of that. And those are the things that keep me alive. I'm not fascinated by the destination itself, but by, how I get there, the process, the journey itself. So when I hear AI, yes, I realize that it can be very, very useful, particularly in my area. I'm in the creatives. I write a lot, I do things a lot, but I hardly ever, consult so that it helps me to write. I try to bring everything myself, not just for the result, but because I enjoy that creative aspect of it, to come from nothing and get somewhere. Anyway, and of course, about deep fakes. You look at a picture now, you are not sure if you are looking at the right thing or not. You hear news about something happening somewhere, you are not sure if this is AI generated or not. So it's creating its own confusion in the world. But I'm happy that you are going to set up this program, and those of us who want to know more about artificial intelligence would have the opportunity to come and learn and all the other stuff. But let me tell Florence again, because we are running out of time. Florence, you have to put on your video. You see, you have to put on your video, or just switch off completely and come back on. Maybe when you reset, switch off completely and come back on. And maybe everything will be set. We can hear you, we can see you, and because you have great news for us this morning. So let's just go on this short break. When we come back, Atai will start to tell us about what we need to know. What does he want me to do? What does he want us to do? Let him break it down for us so that, by the time we leave this program today, I am quite sure in my head what role I'm going to play in that world that you people are creating for us this morning. So after the break.
Natural wellness every single day. No chemical, no surgery, just quantum energy designed for you. Rejuvenate your body, boost your strength, and embrace long-lasting vitality. Feel brighter, feel stronger, feel renewed, supporting overall wellness and balance. From the telomerase machine to quantum plates, bracelets, glasses, and more. Double Plus products, we've got you covered. Say goodbye to constant frequent hospital visits, and hello to a healthier, more fulfilling life. Join the Double Plus family today and experience quantum energy the modern way. Call or WhatsApp Sunday on 0805 546 2822 or Florence on 0816 333 9222. Double Plus Quantum Way. Get ready to thrive and live in good health.
This is Eagle 7 Sports Radio 103.7 FM.
Welcome back. Yes, this is Eagle 7 Sports Radio, and yes, you have been listening to me have a conversation on the future, the new world that is here, driven by digital technology. And my guests have been Atai Albert, who came in from his base in Atlanta, but is now in Nigeria, and Mr. Smith Oshodin, who is doing great things here. So, well, we don't have too much time left, so I want us to be very, very specific now. So, Atai, what do you want? What do you want?
From you?
Talk to Nigerians.
It's your voice.
Talk to Nigerians. Talk to me.
From you, Chief, because yes, I'm all here, sir. I've always believed that you have an unfinished job to do. You are still doing a whole lot, but there's still a lot more you're going to have to do, because that's why you're still here. You know, so your face, your voice, what you're just doing now is all you probably need to do. You're ahead. For those that want to act and respond, they know that you have one of the most consistent, viable voices and faces today with a whole lot of integrity and goodwill. So I want you to voice this discussion in every place, that we are in a very incredible, advantageous moment of a lifetime. For people in government, reach out and build strategic partnership with the right people that have what you don't have. From NCC to the head of parastatals agency, because everybody has a responsibility to do something. And like I said, it's not about us saving the earth, but it's more about us redeveloping. Ocean is just talking about embracing it and leveraging on it. Same thing for the climate situation. There's very little knowledge for people who don't understand it, but reach out, build coalitions, build clubs in schools, in high schools, primary schools, colleges. Let's drive competition across local government based on sustainability. What about reality shows, creating content that could, because everything you do under SDG, especially climate action, becomes a global content. We are restricting ourselves to creating local content that nobody even understands beyond our boundaries. How about repurposing that energy? It's about budget, repurposing budgets. Everywhere you go, they ask you, where's the money? Are you coming with the money? How the hell am I going to come with the money when you're sitting on the money? You are required to repurpose your budget. For the whole, like the Bureau of Public Procurement, we drive over 60% of procurement in Nigeria must embed sustainability. Instead of putting 100 or 200 kVA generator, why did you deploy 200 kVA solar system or a renewable energy solution? Go to the oil industry, decarbonize their processes. Dangote tried to drive decarbonization, even though they don't even mention it, by saying, okay, we want to deliver our fuel straight to the gas stations. We don't want, because if you move a fuel to the vessel, move a vessel, from the vessel you move it to the tank farm, from the tank farm you have to pump it back to the trucks. That is a major contribution of contaminants into the air, because you have to pump, all those things requires energy to pump them. But imagine if he moved it from his gas station, from his refinery straight to gas station. He's got out 3 major points of gas pumping. Imagine that happening for millions and millions of liters of fuel. So there's a whole lot that we can do. But How does it impact us economically? Where is the role of the subnationals? Today you have the LGAs as a pseudo autonomy. What are you going to do to prepare the workforce for tomorrow? The world is going to change. Nobody's going to look for mechanics to repair the regular mechanical engines in a short while. There's a whole new approach to refrigeration based on renewable solutions and sustainable solutions. There's a whole new levels to biodigesting to drive your manage your waste and turn it to asset. How do you manage the situation with the crazy plastic situation and convert it to asset and value? This is all opportunities begging to be picked up. But nobody has the bandwidth to listen. You know, we are deficient in what we call focus or concentration. An average big man, small man sleeps on a social media to laugh. But give him a content to read for 5 minutes, it becomes boring. So our fundamental problem is deep, deep, deep rooted. Executive summary concept. Make an executive brief. Where do I sign? You can't transform because it's a whole new dynamic. The world has changed forever. You have to be ready to be deep, drill deep, dig deep, read, understand, ask questions, seek partnership and collaboration. I appreciate my time on your show, sir.
Fantastic. No, you will still tell us, because you have given us all of this menu now. And I'm sure there's a need to connect with you somehow. Somebody somewhere would have listened to you this morning and would need, more information, more clarity, guidance into what can be done, because we are looking for solutions. So before you go,
Chief,
finally,
to add to that,
yes,
I've always told you, you have been a couple of presentations with our global partners. There is an integrated roadmap. Sustainability cannot be implemented in silos in isolation, which is a big problem in Nigeria. Local, nobody cares. As long as it's my turn, keep the asset. Nigeria can go to hell. And now it's my turn to make it. You know what I'm saying? So that is deep rooted. We have an end-to-end roadmap for every industry. I can tell you this without fear of being immodest. There is none. The great consulting companies, the KPMGs, the PwCs, they got it. If they had it, it would have been out here. But we are sitting on it because a consortium came together to develop a blueprint that can be adopted across every economy, across every
industry, across every sector. When you say we, who are the we?
We are what they call digital income generating investable partners for African development. DigiPaid. We own the technology, we own the IP rights, we own the entire project. All come ask for your sector, we give you a plan to go and implement. It's a consortium of Black folks all over the world. I happen to be the only Nigerian in that mix. We are already incorporated in Nigeria now as sustainability implementation partners. We are available to offer this solution across every sector. I can talk about the digital sector, what you need to do. You're driving massive data centers. You need a lot of computing energy. You need the AI industry is a very sustainable industry. It's going to drive new job creation, reduce poverty, create new solutions. That is sustainable. But nobody is saying about it. That is what you're doing. And that's the industry I have very good familiarity with.
Oshodi, you just listened to Atai, and I know you people speak the same language. You understand each other better than the rest of us. And I raised a fundamental issue that bothers me. That is the conflict between my own creativity, my desire to go on that journey, engaging, yet I want to engage with AI without running all of those risks. You may want to clear that side of it, but as I asked Atai also, so what is that message you want to leave with us today? What do you want done? What do you want? How can Nigerians benefit now from just listening to you? Leaving this conversation, what is the tangible thing that they can take away with? Oshodi.
Thank you very much.
Is it Oshodin? Is it
Oshodin?
Oshodin. Oshodin. Yeah. Is that Yoruba?
Oshodin, no, Edo State, sir.
Oh, Edo State. Oshodi.
Yeah.
You copied. You did AI with Oshodi, and then put it, and it became.
Are you sure you guys are not the ones that took it?
Correct. That's exactly what I wanted to say, bro. Because I hear their roots are all tied to Edo State, kind of. I beg you.
Okay, so let me answer your question, and I'll answer it this way. To start with, I'm a Nigerian and African, and a very proud one at that. Atari said something. He said, while he was speaking a while back, which is what I always tell people, I said, what is it that we own? Mark Zuckerberg has about 2 yachts and a massive boat that he drives around. One for security, one for him, one to carry the load. We're talking about almost $800 million worth of yachts on the sea, excluding fueling. How does he fuel those things? By our boys and girls twerking on Instagram and these things. By our boys sitting every day doing content creator, and they pay you an incentive. That is them constantly giving you fish. How much do they make if you think you can buy a Mercedes from what you're doing online? Then how much are they making? That's the power and the revenue in the digital economy, which we are blinded. They say we're a developing nation, 1.4 billion. China was also called that same thing, a developing nation, about 1.4 billion. What did China do? They looked inward, created solutions for Chinese people, by Chinese people, raised 800 million people out of poverty, and have lots of millionaires. Our corporate organizations in Nigeria, they are used to sponsoring, no disrespect to anyone, but they're used to sponsoring things that people easily see and they think it gives them. But fashion show, music fairs, their names are out there. But the question is, what's the impact that comes back to them? It's time for our corporate organizations to come together and say, you know what, digital literacy is a priority for us. One, we'll get cheap labor. China used to have the cheapest labor in the world. Africa has the cheapest labor in the world. We'll get cheap labor from our people. Now, our people are not that good. Yet they are the best cyber criminals in the world.
Wow.
Yet Nigerians are the best cyber criminals in the world. Little boys are out of school. How is it that they've been doing this fraud since for 20, 30 years? Until today, the Western world, with all their high-level intelligence, have not been able to shut it down. That means our boys are evolving. They're thinking every day. So if a guy has that knowledge to think, to constantly break huge sectors that are heavily protected, that's an intelligent person. So our corporate organization should come and start getting involved in digital literacy programs rather than put these high amounts for event fashion shows. Yes, the glams and the glory are there, but how do they themselves even benefit? Because at the end of the day, when you sponsor all these digital literacy programs, what have you done? You've empowered a lot of Nigerians to become what? Multiple entrepreneurs. More revenue. Your brand sponsored this event. For instance, the GT sponsors an event that has to do with a scholarship program that's IT related. Automatically, you've implanted yourself in the minds of the people that we can be trusted. So funds coming out from each of those entrepreneurs, first point of call is to go to GT and bank it. Now, those same people have built solutions for Nigeria, because one thing is that we are a developing nation, as they call us. Being a developing nation, what is one thing that we have? Problems. Imagine if we didn't have Uber app, Bolt app. Imagine when we're using yellow taxis back in the days. Can we go back and ask ourselves, how did we actually live? I live here, I'm trying to get to the island. It means I have to come out, stroll either to a taxi park if there's none by my house. I stay by the roadside like I'm waiting for a bus and hopefully flag a drop. But now I sit in my house and the taxi drives right into my compound. That money comes back into the economy. The government has said by 2030, they are looking at a $1 trillion Nigerian economy. Is it possible? Yes. Second quarter of last year, Nigeria contributed. The digital tech space contributed about 6.6 6.77 trillion into the economy, but it was done quietly. Nobody's hearing about it. The largest fintech company in Nigeria today is not Nigerian owned. Nigeria use Instagram. Nigeria use Twitter. Nigerians use Facebook. The countries that create this thing, there are 330 million. We're 1.4 billion. So why can Africa not look towards Africa, Black Africa, and create solutions for 1.4 billion people, where that revenue remains in Africa, rather than the bulk of the revenue being out there and just they give us fish every day to eat and we're happy. So what we're looking for is for Nigerians, the everyday Nigerians, to come to the TechShift program, TechShift.Africa. They should go on TechShift.Africa, register for the courses. We're also looking at corporate bodies to come and say, hey, this is a great initiative. This puts us on the global stage with people that are out there. These are not just IT-related courses, interactive life online IT-related courses, future-proof courses that would also come with global certification. So a guy who goes through this program can easily wake up, travel to Canada, walk into a multinational in that role and say, I want to do this job, and he's qualified because he has the paper. It's not a UNILAG certification. It's a certificate from an OEM, a global OEM who has certified him. So we want companies, businesses in Nigeria, let's start looking inward at like a lot of the things that Fatai was saying. All this sponsorship that creates glams and glory but does not actually create true impact in the society. I think we should change that mindset, change the narrative, and look towards truly empowering our people. Those are great ideas. Fashion shows, fashion, all these are great ideas. But at the end of the day, you need to still have money. And where we are now is not the fashion age, we're in the digital space. Because even the fashion businesses, a lot of them rely on technology. A lot of their designs have gone IT based. A lot of the things they use for design are IT related products. So even every aspect of business has an IT component in it. So why don't we work from the foundation so that the house can be stable?
Just to add to what he just said, the mindset has to change. It's not just about IT. We don't have the investment mindset. Most people that are wealthy today in Nigeria did not make it out of ingenuity. So they don't anticipate, and our own notoriety of the fraud aspect of it has eroded the trust amongst us. We have to learn to trust each other again. Technology is the only way to drive any sustainable economy. You cannot, most of our problems, if we can deploy technology, 80% will naturally disappear. Even when implementing the climate mitigation we're talking about, it's all tech-driven, not computer, but tech, digital tech, the metrics of solution, the delivery. That's what we need. So it's time, like Riley said, anything we do must be sustainable. I delve back to the climate situation. Everybody is doing conference, is doing workshop, is doing award show on climate action. How sustainable is that? What solution is that providing? Invest in real hackathon that could drive a bunch of young folks to develop a tech solution. Multiple areas are begging for these solutions. So, Chief, I really appeal that we need to keep this a little bit more sustainable as well. Let's be a little more frequent talking about this thing. Media is missing out, not because they want to, but because there are not enough resource people who can engage people effectively as we're talking today. But you have us. Let's make this a more frequent thing. We thrive on suspect. We thrive on controversy. That's why certain TV channels are now rated the best channel, but they add no damn value. They got no value to add because what they're talking about is politics, how one man is dropping from one party to the other. It has no value. And these are the people that are rated. So we have totally debased what we should consider as a fundamental media contribution to a system. A lot has gone wrong. A lot.
Wow. Well,
Ambassador, just 1 minute of your time, just to add to what
go on.
We went to, I'm not going to mention names, but we went to an individual who is a member of one of the boards of one of the Nigerian National Board of Technical Education, and we're told that we must register our institute with medication as that's what they must do. Ministry of Education met with the appropriate authorities.
Just hold on a minute. I don't know.
And they said,
Oshadin, just hold on a minute. I don't know if the rest of the world heard you because I did not. Probably it's my Wi-Fi. But just take that again.
I was hearing him too, sir.
Aha. So just take that again because it just sounded, like good music to the ears. Just start again and take it again because we didn't hear what you said.
Okay. Is Atai there?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah.
Okay, so during the course of our presentation, we went to a certain gentleman who is a member of a board, National Board of Technical Education. Very wonderful man, very wonderful. He likes the vision, he wants to be a part of it. And he said, what you're doing is it's right up there. So for us to be able to work with you, you must be registered under the National Board of Technical Education. And I tried to explain what we do, and he said, no, it's a requirement. So I left for Abuja almost immediately. This week, after we spoke, went to the Ministry of Education, went to one of the senior special assistants to the minister, and to proceed with the registration. And while I got there, I explained to her, told her what we do, how we do it, dropped our papers and everything. And do you know what she said to me? We cannot certify you. You exceed the businesses, the centers we certify. We don't even understand where you are at. You're dealing with the OEMs and you are telling us to certify you. We can't. Go ahead and operate. That's what she said. I said, but you're not going to give us a waiver. She said, waiver on what? We are struggling to come up. You guys are already at the top dealing with OEMs and you're coming to us to certify you. What do we understand that the OEMs are doing that we're certifying? Please go ahead.
Wow.
You're free to go. That was it. And I flew back to Lagos and I called him and by the Ministry of Education from the minister that we exceed the certificates to only require from the number. Are you there?
Well, thank God we didn't hear the last part because this was a movie script. You're just giving us a good movie script.
Your screen has frozen.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Well, yes, I think we have, virtually run out of time. We couldn't get Flores throughout the show. I don't know what happened. And hello. Oshodi. Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Well, we have run out of time, but thank God we did not hear the concluding part of your sermon, because that would have killed all of us, because that's the script for a good movie. A good movie.
No,
but okay, you have 30 seconds. You have 30
because
seconds.
They don't understand what we do. They couldn't certify us because they don't understand what we do. So what we want people to do is to go on techship.africa. We were expecting about 3,500 to 4,000 people on the 18th of April, Convention Center at a Sheraton Hotel.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you, Oshodin. Thank you very much. Thank you. We have run out of time. I want to thank Atai Albert, my good friend. I know you will soon be going back to Atlanta. And for everything that you've done, I want to thank Smith Oshodin for, opening up our minds and illuminating our path. And thanking you for, making life so expensive for me. I didn't have time to tell you people my story about how much it cost me to transit from my analog production in 1993 to where I am now. I had the largest library of film footages on sports in Nigeria in my library, but it was in old technology. And I was trying to transit from one to the other. And the rate of technology development was so high and it became so expensive that it got to a point I just stopped. Right now, I have lost so much content, so much material because I was not able to transit, and the rate of development of technology was so high. Now it has left me behind. So I thank you for pointing all of these things out to us this morning. Florence was not able to join us, but I will make arrangements for her to join us because her own subject on quantum energy and the quantum energy machine is so important and so dear to me. Probably next week we'll be able to have her on the show. So on that note, let me thank you guys again for being a part of this morning's show. As Atai said, yes, we would concentrate on playing our parts as media partners to your project. All right, Oshodi, good luck with the April project. I will be part of it with you, and then we're going to walk that path together by the special grace of God. Of course, Atai, I'm always with you, Sha. So having said that, thank you. Great show. Hope to see you all next week, Saturday, when we have another great package for you on Eagle 7 Sports Radio. That's all for now. Bye.
This is Eagle 7.